Hello, hello. Is this thing on? No, it's not a microphone. But this is it's my relic. For those of you who've seen Doctor Strange, I don't know who has not. This is my relic. It shows me at Japan Fest 2 years ago, and I rock with this a lot around the apartment. If I'm talking on the phone, I'm usually messing around with it, or every time I enter the living room, I'm like, I'm not very good, though I suspect any arm muscles that I have is probably a result of, is quite possibly a result of all the messing around with this thing that I do. I try to wave it around my head, and I think like I'm like, oh, I like going around the corner and be like, oh. I just saw a thing today, and because this is all plastic, this is not anything like this. Can't unsheath it. It is just plastic, so there's a little bit of weight to it. So I also like to think, if anybody, I pity the fool who'd ever try to break in and mess with me while I'm here alone, because I will pop them in the kneecap, and it would hurt. It would hurt a lot. I've actually hit my hand. I've hit my hand sometimes with this thing, and it hurts considerably. But I just saw this meme thingy or whatever, these images, and it was with all these grannies with their astrological sign. And so Virgo, which is my sun's sign, Virgo, had this smiling granny in a cemetery, and she had a sword that was unsheathed, and she's smiling. I was like, aw, it's like they knew. It's like they knew. But, yay! I'm so proud of you, Leslie. Here you are, another day, doing another recording. And today was just so fun. I'm so proud of myself for doing something yesterday. And Lord, I really hope that I got all that fear crap out of my system, because anybody who watched any of the videos before know I kind of talked about that stuff the last few times. Several times at great lengths, like, oh, I'm so scared, oh, Leslie, just get over it. And I'm hoping that all of that fear was just that initial to get it out, and now in my sobriety I won't have to keep beating the dead horse. That's not nice. You shouldn't beat animals, period, alive or dead. And if it is dead, what are you doing around a dead carcass? That's not cool. Probably smelly, and there's flies. Gross, right? So but I did have to watch it. That's how I actually also noticed, I got a text message, and I think that glitched my computer, and then so the rest of my recording was like, oh my gosh, it was so creepy. It's actually I'm not really freaked out by a whole lot, but in the scary movies, and it started, I don't know, a decade or so ago, when they started doing that really fast, whatever the technique is in the video recording, to show possession or ghost walking. I think when I really first saw it was The Ring, and that little girl was I don't even want to think about it. But I was looking like that. Oh, so I was so grateful that I actually watched that, and then was like, woo, let's trim that. I didn't watch it all the way. I don't even know the rest of the things that I was trying to say. I was like, all right, this is a sign that I didn't need to go down that rabbit hole, because I was about to go into this whole thing about spiritual charlatanism, and it wasn't good vibes. It wasn't good energy. It was like, oh, I'm not trying to judge anyone on their path. And then I spend the next few minutes judging somebody on their path. Thank you for the lesson. Moving on. So yeah, I was able to cut that out. But I also, in watching that, I was like, ooh, child, you really were all over the place. And let's not get it twisted. I'm going to be an all over the place kind of gal. That's what I do. If you talk to me in true life, that's what I do. My mind is working a lot faster than my mouth. It's working a lot faster than I can type, and I can type 80 something words a minute. I'm pretty fast. But my mind just doesn't is just off to the races. And so, a lot of that was honest and innocent enough in, I wish I could be more articulate. I wish I could be more concise. And especially in my speech, but I'll get to some of that later because I had some really amazing experiences with like just validation today. And you know, like you don't have to know where you're going, but just keep doing what you're doing. This is for you, Leslie, what you need to be doing. And I'm just so grateful. But the Virgo sun in me, not the Virgo sun baby, the Virgo sun in me, um, won't allow me to proceed without a few what do they call that, like house cleaning notes or whatever. So I didn't finish the point. Yes, I wanted to clarify my mind moves faster than my mouth. I think I said than my writing, and I mean yes, that's true. But I was actually trying to say that my speaking sometimes doesn't keep up, and that's why I sound like all over the place. So little edit there. Also, I never finished the point about being concerned about people not taking. I'm concerned about doing videos and things because I don't want people to, get attached to one point and disregard everything else that I'm saying. And I started to talk about the music videos and the songs where it was like I had, and someone, like, oh, I love the singing videos, but what do you mean that you don't trust men? I was like, okay, I didn't write that song, and I was actually talking more about the split personality aspect. That's why I sang that song, and how are you gonna get caught up on that? Like, I was putting my heart into the music. So it's like, even though I have, these people who are close to me, who I care a great deal about, they're still misinterpreting or taking these little aspects out of context, and I get worried about that. But again, can't let that stop me. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't let that affect this roller coaster. So I'm just gonna keep going because it's kind of part of it. You can't control what other people are gonna think, what other people are gonna do. I know my intentions are pure and sincere and righteous, and that's really all that matters. And all I can do is put myself out. People are gonna do whatever they want to do with it. Like, we see it all the time. Oh my gosh, that's why I love the Daily Show. They make their show is based off of the political realm of just how often people, Fox News, will take things out of context and run with it, and they will neglect the entire point. They'll literally have, what was it with that gent, the Democrat who was like, when they, I am totally messing this up. I should have looked this up before I said so I could sound smart, but, right, like, what do we do when they kick us? We kick them harder, and then, certain right-wingers were taking that and, oh, look, it's violence now. And, like, the man literally says seconds later in the same clip, like, no, I don't mean violence. So if they're going to do that, and that stuff's on TV, I don't think I should really be all that concerned about my little YouTube vlog where I'm talking about random esoteric thoughts and musings of life and as I know it. So that's that. Let's push that one over to the side. Although I do think that's like a projector problem. I mean, I think that's an everyone problem. I think I probably take that personally as a projector because now I recognize that people are projecting, onto me. And so they're taking that little thing that they wanted to hear or wanted to see, and they are riding with it. And I'm sure they do that to everyone. I think probably as a projector I'm noticing it. But, yeah, so I really gotta let that go, let it go. So there's that point. And then also, so now I'm going to finish about where I was going on with the end of that video. Because, again, like I said, I didn't really want to do that. And I've already spent, like, 10 minutes just talking about little points about the last video. I didn't really want to do. But when I was talking about, I don't like, because I wanna really emphasize that my intentions are to be of a pure, sincere, honest heart. When I'm saying I know I have a light in me and I know I have something to offer, I really, truly, honestly believe that. But I really, truly, honestly believe that we all have that, and that we all need to kind of scruff away and dig deep, get to those goodies in the subconscious, as Quincy said. Get into what really makes our hearts sing, what is really you, aside from all of this social media programming, aside from all of the, the United States of advertising and everything that they're telling me and you to be, and that we should, have, and how we need to look, and getting down to, again, back to Adam's class, what are my values? What do I really want to communicate? And being able to throw off to the side all of those fears about what people are going to think, and be able to tap into the essence of my creativity. And I guess, that's what I'm really hoping that I'm able to do with this channel, is to encourage others to be able to do that for them, because that's what makes this life so beautiful and juicy and colorful, is being our divine essence, and fully being able to be that pure and authentic, because there's no one else in the world throughout infinity who is ever going to be like you, who ever has been like you. They were saying in the Quincy documentary also, he was talking about a music teacher that he worked with in France, I believe, and how she had said that we're all just working with the same 12 notes. So, they're dealing with music composition, and, it just really, I sat with that too. It was like, it's only been the same 12 notes, but what have we all been doing with it? Musically speaking, what all have we been doing with it to create new? How are we putting these things together differently? And it's the same thing with all of this stuff, with personal development, with whatever advice, whatever your niche, your bag is, it's not new. And trust me, even as like, I'm like, oh, I'm so creative, or out there, or whatever. Look, I'm not saying something that nobody has ever said before, but I am saying it in a way, or with a little flair, or with a little that has never been done before, because it's never been done by me. And that's the same thing for you. So I really, when I was saying that, I was like, ooh, I hope that, again, I hope that doesn't come off as some like, oh, I'm better than, no. I am coming, this is my experiment. This is my attempt to, with full humility, gratitude, again, righteousness. I want to. This is pure innocence, just a noble intention and heart. And if again, and it's kind of the saying, like, I've always, anybody who knows me knows that I'm always been about the authenticity, and that is really what I hope to communicate with whatever I end up doing in the world. I know that I am someone very concerned with that, and concerned with helping others being able to achieve that. Now, I don't know how to do that without speaking from my experience. So a lot of times I will be, not all the times, I'll be I, me. That's not coming from ego. That's only from, I can only speak from my experience and from my point of view and my interpretation and my analysis and my observations. And that's the only thing that I have true authority over. And I can, look, I've studied psychology, sociology, personal development, like I do meditation. This is kind of my bag. When I first started smoking weed, I was like, oh, everybody's like chess. I could play them like chess. Oh yeah, I kind of got on that bag for a minute. Oh, that wasn't cool. That backfired on me. So I've had a lot of lessons to stay humble and righteous, and I think that was noble and humbling too. But I hope that whatever this evolves to, it's, you know, and then maybe this is how I'm getting the clarity on it, that this is to be the mission, and now it will develop into however it will be. So I really just think if we all, like, there is more than enough in the world, and if we all really were able to tap into what we wanted, we would realize that we all don't want the same things. And so there absolutely is more than enough for, you know, you to be happy and me to be happy and us to all coexist and be in this divine plan, you know, in that full essence of the spirit that we came here to be. So I also say some of that to say, because I had my little, one of the two little meltdowns where I'm like, I just really want to be who I came to be, like I want to find out who I am under that spark. I don't think it's a matter of finding out, you know, as Timothy Speed-Levitch said on the bridge scene of Waking Life, which if you haven't seen Waking Life, I highly recommend it. If you like words like I do, it's really good. But he was like, remembering is so much more a psychotic activity than forgetting. So I'm just trying to remember who I am. Like, I already am being who I'm here to be. I'm trying to get out of the mind that's trying to, like, keep trying to analyze it and figure the ish out and just be. And I do believe that that's possible. There will be some muggles who probably don't, and that's okay. I do. That's enough for me. Or I will keep saying that until I believe that. So those were the few things that I wanted to talk about on those last videos, and from video. And I'm hoping that those aspects, as far as like the fear stuff and the, you know, I wanna, like, I hope all of that's done. I really hope that I'm not doing any more videos going on and on about that. Like, I get it. Like, even I'm like, I get it. I've done that in the videos before where I was like, even I'm Leslie. I'm like, Leslie, stop. No, but for real, I really am. Oh, you know, another funny thing I noticed, I don't drink, but if anybody who is watching that, notice, like, take a shot of your coffee or whatever every time the hematite ring is on a different hand. Apparently I do that while I'm talking down below where you can't see, but then when my hand will come up, I'm like, oh, the hematite ring is on the other ring. On the other hand now. Just an amusing little side note. So moving on from that, last night, so I mean, man, okay, so I am so pumped today. Like, everything has still just been positive and good, and I really feel like it was just encouraging, because it was like, all right, Les, you did step up, you did do a video. You didn't quite get to, you know, some juicy juice, but you did something. And for that, we are going to let you know you're on the right track. So I just feel like I was getting like bam, 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 validation, affirmation, coming from, this is my right, looks like your left, I think, coming from the other way, all over. And so, you know, after I did that, I did the video and posted and all that good stuff. I did listen to the Judith Onley replay all the way, because, like I said, I only caught a little bit of it. And then I was like, okay, I will. You need my words. But then I went to listen to it last night, and it is juicy. I highly, 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 highly recommend it. And the group that she channels, they are called US, but it stands for United Soul of Heaven and Earth. And you know, she was talking about how they come through to her on the frequency of joy, which really is meaningful to me, because when I was working with the pushy individual, the temporary mentor. How about that? That sounds more positive. You know, he was really like pushing me, like, you got to come up with like, what's your pitch, what's your tagline, what's your da da da. And I was going with ambassador of joy, and because that's, you know, people do. It's not a front. I mean, I also have my boohoo moments and things that I really struggle with internally, but for the most part, like, my spirit is really, really joyful, because I just don't see another way to be, like, to reside emotionally wise, you know. And I also think that's just been like my vibration kind of always as a child. I do think like the substance abuse developed also as a result, because I didn't feel like there were people who tried to make me feel like I was wrong to be joyful. And I thought, well, I can numb out their voices this way and be in, you know, my natural state, and overly chatty and dorky and silly, and it would be acceptable. But that quickly turned into unmanageable. And so that was, I don't necessarily recommend that technique, but it served its purpose. I mean it did what it had to do. But so when she was talking about that they come in on a frequency of joy, I was like, ding, already. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, so see, like, I'm feeling something, and maybe it is. It's this frequency of joy. And then, you know, power versus force, hidden determinants of behavior. You know, he has the vibration, like the map of vibration consciousness, or what would it say? Clinically proven map of consciousness, where he measures out the vibration levels. And joy is at like 540, man. That's a pretty high vibration. Underneath, place and enlightenment. I do, or peace, place. I'd like to be in a place of peace. Joy, the emotion is serenity. Above that, peace is, the emotion is bliss. And above that, enlightenment, the emotion is ineffable. But beneath that, you know, most of the cats on the planet, like humanity, is residing at about a 208, which is right above courage. 250 is neutrality. So joy is a pretty good way to be. And I could see how higher beings would come in on that frequency. So that meant something to me already, right? And then I was listening more to her. And she was talking about how that it's not even about the words. You know, when she's doing her channeling, she had explained what is channeling. If you're not familiar, she does go into that a little bit, and then she did this beautiful transmission. But she was like, you know, and it's not really even about the words. It's the energy of the transmission. And the words are really there more to kind of like distract the mind, which I was like, again, it was another validation, affirmation, in the sense that, you know, I'm sitting here getting so caught up, or I was more so yesterday. I mean, I might have created a monster. This might be like, you know, it's one of those like, oh, open the door a little bit and like, I'm coming out. So, I don't know. I'm not going to get caught up in like, oh, I'm going to do a video every day, or, oh, I need to do another video, or, oh, I need to do it like this, or I need to, look, it's just going to happen when it happens. And obviously right now I'm in a high, so it's probably going to happen a little more frequently. And then I'm sure something will happen, or I'll get busy, and then maybe I won't. And I'm not going to feel guilty about not doing that. The plan is there is no plan. So I say that more to affirm and remind myself. So not trying to convince anybody. But when she was saying that, I was like, here I am getting so caught up on, I want to sound a certain way. Like, I was moved to tears. Like, oh, I wish I sounded more eloquent, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what if it's not even about the words? What if that's not even the message? It's about the being. It's about the energy transmission. Like, I know when I watch videos or I read emails or articles, feel the person. I don't necessarily, I don't know if that's just being an empath, or if we all do subconsciously, like we're all one. So I don't know. I definitely feel a connection, and it really is like, okay, the cats who are supposed to hear me, it's not even going to be about the words. And isn't that wonderful and freeing? So boom, another validation affirmation for me, or that's how I took it, and that's how I'm gonna roll. So that was, I was like, oh my gosh, that was, yes. It was like, even when I was studying my Osho material and meditations, and I became a sannyasin, my sannyasin name that they give to you, they don't really, it's not like, I don't think it's like they saw me and then gave it to me. I don't know how they determine it, but the name that I was given actually means inner celebration. So clearly that's a vibration that I roll with. So that was like, yeah. And I do hope that that's another thing that I'm able to communicate with my mission, my whatever, is like, be in that state of joy. Like, there's so much to be grateful for and appreciative of, and like, this life is it's hilarious, really. I mean, because I love to laugh. I'm kind of silly. It's fun. It's fun to play. Yeah, so that was pretty powerful. I went to sleep like, oh, that's so nuts. And then I woke up this morning. I went to sleep awfully late, but I woke up this morning. Every morning I do my best. I'm pretty good about consistency, but I participate. There's this group, We Are Millionaire Minded, led by Haziq Ali, but there's a team, Sadiq Ali, Amanantwi, and I'll link to that. But they do, like, they're so generous with their information and time. They do a free, like, coaching session, like 7 minutes of success, Affirmation Nation, in the mornings. And then after the training portion, we do a series of affirmations. And the group is meant for entrepreneurs, but it's all personal development. So I already said personal development's kind of my thing. And I love, for me, it's sort of an accountability. I know about affirmations, but left to my own devices, I don't do them every day. I have my list everywhere, and I might kind of read them while I'm brushing my teeth, but to know that I have a call where there's other people, it's not necessarily even anyone's, like, Leslie, you on? Or waiting to hear my voice or anything, but just knowing that I have other people who are doing it with me, and I know when two or more minds get together. So it's great, but I will say the past couple weeks I've been slacking a little bit. Well, because I've been staying up later, so I've been waking up later. But this morning, I had my phone set, and they send text message reminders, and this morning it was, they say, "Dear Millionaire," oh, that's great, "Dear Millionaire," oh, you can't see that, that's good, 5 ways to stay authentic. I was like, okay, so I roll over and I dial it, I put the call on speaker. Oh, I hope Haziq never watches this. He'd be like, "Girl, you were just laying in bed." I was like, I was. But then, as you started going in on it, the first thing was, don't be afraid. It was 5 ways to stay authentic. And the first one was, don't be afraid to show your flaws and talk about your losses. And I'm sitting there like, what? I was kind of like talking about some of this on my video last night. I'm so proud of myself because I did that video. So anyways, as this proceeded to go on, I felt like Haziq had watched my video and was like calling me out, like, "Leslie, we don't need you to do a testimonial because we heard everything you said." And it just felt like it just resonated so much with me. So the first one was, don't be afraid to show your flaws and talk about losses. 2 was, tell people what you stand for. 3, accept there will always be people who don't like you. 4, open up and talk about things outside of your business. And 5, speak to one person, not everyone at once. And, and he'll say things in between. It was just, you know, like, there's nothing you could do. There's going to be people who don't like you, and embrace that and be free. That way, you know, you're not putting on a mask. Like, what if you have people in your circle or who are, you know, all up in your videos, and you're being some sort of way, and you're wasting this time trying to appease or appeal to them, but they wouldn't like you if they did know who you really were. Like, they'd be like, oh, like, I mean, I'm not trying to roll with nobody who thinks, like, yeah, I talk too much. Like, switch the channel or turn it off. That's okay. Don't like it. That's fine. There's somebody who put a thumbs down on the chill step, which I just noticed that. I can't even believe that. That's crazy. Why are you listening to it? Why does it need the thumbs down? But whatever. It's like, fine, don't, whatever. Because you're also losing time worrying about that. You're losing time from connecting with the people who are going to resonate with you. And that's where that whole quality over quantity thing totally, like, at least if you're trying to be authentic, that's what it's all about, right? And that's also the message. I was on this other training, all these trainings. I was like, this age really is about authenticity. People want, I don't want to say that they want to see you mess up, but we're all going through our things, you know. We're gone are the days of the masks and like, oh, this is how I'm living, right? Like, no, how are you really living? Because I know it's not, I'm not going to say it's not easy, but something's not going right. And people are waking up to that fact, like, okay, I've been trying to do it the way that everybody says to do it, and it's not working for me. So, what's up with that? It's like, oh, I'm not keeping it 100. Why is that a saying? Keep it 100. Like, I keep it 1,000. Keep it infinity. So, you know, so then, I mean, that got me all pumped up today. And then I did, I'll link to that too, because this is all free. And then they have a Wednesday call, Obsessed with Success, and they've started posting that on their on YouTube channel. So, like, you don't even have to get on these things live. They've got them posted everywhere. So generous, so generous. But I was inspired because I was trying to think of the lines for Killing Me Softly and Lauryn Hill, but, you know, I felt he found my letters and read each one out loud. There you go. Yeah, so I was just like, I was pumped. It got me so I was like, I was so jazzed. Like, all day I've been, like, buzzing high. And, yeah, so that was crazy. That was another thing. And then Lavina, Human Design Life, Lavina Lovick, she had posted this thing because then I was like, okay, well, I'm on this high, so let me stink and tackle some inboxes. And so I was doing my Facebook inboxes today, but that also meant I was playing around a little bit on Facebook. And she had this thing she had posted for projectors, and hashtag projectors. And I was saying, anytime you act incorrectly, you get bitter. Can you please stop complaining and blaming other people for your bitterness? Bitterness is a gift. It's teaching you something you can learn from. It is the same coin as sweetness. On the other side of bitter, you can take the pivot to find your way. Ask yourself, am I behaving in a way that is getting me recognition for who I am? Ride the authority to your destiny and forget what you think others think about you. You cannot control who talks about you, who does what to or for you. You're not here to punish, beg, plead, or whine. That won't get you where you want to go. You can dedicate yourself to mastery of systems. You can step up your game to be the kind of leader that others see are going places they want to get to. You can be yourself, which is success. Success is the resonance of you with your spirit and who you really are. Don't feel successful? Aligned people in your life is a success. Forget standard generators or manifestors, definitions of success. Success is a radiance of the core of your being and looks different for each of us. Wake up now. Time to grow. You can do this. Quit believing your conditioned mind that is constantly trying to get what it wants. Recognize your true nature, your form is the vehicle of this life, and you can go down your road kicking and screaming as a passenger, or you can surrender to what is and find the success of being. Within your earthen temple of the soul, the flesh of your spirit is your gift in this life, this rental of ours we are blessed with in this incarnation. Namaste. And okay, so again, if that last video, I was talking about, like, I can't be concerned with what is success. You have to question, like, well, what is success and what is, and I was saying it's about being happy and being at peace with yourself, being okay to just be who you are. And that is the thing, being so caught up in other people's versions of what success is. Everyone's telling you that this is what success looks like, and that's why you still got high rates of, like, suicide. People are achieving those and they're not happy on the inside. So that obviously isn't success. There has to be something else to it. And I really think it's rooted in authenticity and being who you are. I will say that's what I love, love, love about human design. And I mean, I only, like it's funny because I had something in my email from, like, a couple years ago with Karen Curry from a telesummit, and I bought the little, package, and I was like, okay, I don't know what all these colored open boxes mean, so I'll revisit it. Well, it showed back up for me years later, which was just, 2 months ago. July, August, September, October. Oh, almost. Well, like, it was end of July, and then I didn't really start looking into it until August. So about 2 good months of me really being like, what? But the way that I really like to describe it to people is, like, if chess, they say chess is the game of life, right? And I feel like, people might sometimes be looking at the other pieces and say you're looking at a pawn and, like, wait a minute, say you're a bishop and you're looking at a pawn, like, hey, how come they get to move up 2 spaces, or I want to move forward, and it's like, boo, you're not designed to do that. You're designed to go side to side. And on a certain color, and, like, we have these rules, right? Like, each one of us has a role to play, and we're so caught up in everybody else's roles and not honoring that, well, cool, there's a lot of gifts to being the bishop. Chess wouldn't be chess if there were no bishops. All of the pieces are necessary. And so for me, finding out about my aura type and understanding my design and my strategy and experimenting with that has really been, it's been a trip, but it's really been a matter of being okay to be who I am, to move in the way that I operate. It's really kind of just giving me permission to be who I am. And, blessed are those who don't need the permission. I did. So that's been a blessing. But I will say, okay, so there's another geeky thing. Okay, so hopefully my last 2 things. I did take notes, but, like, this is what my notes look like. So, but if I were to organize it, it wouldn't be much better. So I listened to today's talk on wisdom from of the ancestors, the Wisdom Summit, and Wisdom of the Ancients, excuse me. And today's featured guest, his name is Ken Stone. And can I just say what I really kind of like, aside from Alicia Powers, which I'm on her email list, which is how I learned about Wisdom of the Ancients. And I'm not a noob to the webinar, telesummit, personal development, all this sort of stuff. That, like, I roll hard with these folks. A lot of these people I've never even heard of. So, I mean, their info is nuts. Like, this summit is really, really juicy. Don't get me wrong. I love all my cats. I love my ride or dies. Soul Talk, Beyond the Ordinary. I love all you guys. But this wisdom one is turning. I'm like, ooh, buddy. And this Ken Stone cat was crazy. It was so awesome. So another affirmation, validation that was going on with him. He too was kind of talking about how it's like the vibrational resonance. That's not so much about the words. And let me, just another quick thing on the words thing. you know, when I had said that prayer was a big part of helping me get out of my addictions, I had found a church, or a church had found me through a friend, and again, they got me through the music. I do love music, but they're the first church that I heard about talking in tongues or praying in tongues, which I highly recommend the look up on that, because like I guess there's a lot of stuff in, well, it's interesting. Now, I'm not completely new to this in the aspect of Osho has a meditation technique called gibberish. I remember when I was telling the people at this church about gibberish, and they were like, no, this is nothing like that. This is your personal language with God. And I was like, sounds like gibberish. But what I was able to appreciate about both aspects when I combined the two, because I love gibberish, was always one of my favorite meditation techniques of Osho's. I always loved it. Like, you just speak in a language or languages like that you don't understand, like just words and sounds, but it's meant to confuse your mind so that you can get into that meditative state during the silence part. But then I was thinking about combining that with the aspect of the prayer, and it's like, I sometimes don't know what all I'm actually trying to express when I'm communicating with my Creator. But I know that there is something to verbalizing and speaking things into existence. Just, I don't know if it's the resonance, the frequency, the vibration. But I have found so much solace in praying in tongues, because I know, like, the words are there just to confuse my mind. In gibberish, we would say that, you know, our minds get attached to the words and to the meanings, and so we're trying to make sense and all these sorts of things. But when you're just making stuff up or just going, it's like you can just go. But now in the praying in tongues, they're like, that's your personal, you know, you're speaking spells, that's your personal language, and it confuses the lower, well, Satan, but or the lower entities, because they can't understand what you're saying. I don't know about all that stuff, but it all makes sense to me in my mind when I was like, I know what I'm feeling. I know what I'm trying to communicate, when sometimes I don't have the words, and sometimes I'm giggling and sometimes I'm crying, but I just say all of that stuff just so that this is satisfied, but my energy is really communicating what I'm trying to express. And that form of praying was what was paramount for me, what is paramount for me when I'm going through rough times, when I'm going through great times, when I'm needing whatever I'm needing. It's just powerful because it's a way to express without getting caught up. But it's like still giving my mind something. It's like, you want a cookie? Here's a cookie, boo-boo. Okay, anyways, here's what's really going on. It's awesome. I love it. Now, so he was talking about that aspect of, again, too, like, it's about the resonance. It's about, it's beyond the words, right? And for him, he was talking about, like how he has buzzing in his hands and his feet when as his feedback of how he experiences divine resonance, and how that's unique for every individual. And what's really funny about that is yesterday I had a spontaneous like idea for a full moon meditation ritual thing. Actually, I had some organite pyramids, and I put them like all on my body. I had several, and I've got some big ones and small ones, and then I just did some powerful meditation, and like I was just like buzzing and vibrating. And then it was so crazy because I had this email from a human design group that I really follow and respect, and it was about awareness and authenticity, and it spoke to me, so I was so excited. And then so I signed up for something, and then I got an email from the guy himself, and like I'm not like okay, so Angel Grant and this guy, like so far my only two real starstruck moments. But I was just like, no way, I can't believe you wrote me. So then of course I had to write him I didn't have to, but I had to. Leslie had to. Just to be like, I mean, because I've been like stalking them and watching everything for free that I could and reading everything for free that I could. And this is my first time, like, paying for it for something through them. And so when I got that email from him, I was just like, ah! I was like, my whole body was buzzing. I just did this meditation and I'm so excited. So that happened yesterday. So then when I'm listening to Ken Stone and he's talking about how his feedback is this buzzing, I was just like, oh my gosh, maybe that I was just in this moment of this divine resonance. And that's where magic happens. That's where things really come together. And so that was, he even said, he was like, as he started the call, he was like, I don't know, I'm all giggly, I'm just, I'm not sure how, I'm excited to see how God is going to show up today, how the divine is going to express itself. And what's so funny is I literally wrote in that email to, John yesterday, I was just like, I don't know, I'm kind of starstruck, I'm all giggly. Like, when would that actually come up twice, right? Like, I don't actually, like, as silly as I am, I don't write out, like, oh, I'm so giggly right now. And then to hear this, gent say giggly, again, it's just not, you don't, a gent, no less. And then I just realized that this was actually a replay. It was an encore call. So this didn't technically even happen, but for that to have happened, for me to hear it today and listen to it today, right after that happened yesterday, like, to me, these things aren't coincidences. These are, that's no coincidence either. Maybe it's time to wrap it up, Leslie. It's no coincidence, and I'm taking it as validation, and it's pumping me up. It's really, I'm so excited, and it's like, oh, I love life. And what did he say? And he's like, and he's clearly enthusiastic to share. And that's me right now as well. I'm clearly enthusiastic to share, and I can't stop. So I just want to kind of finish where he was talking about these 4 stages of consciousness. And, even he says Ken Stone, that is, I will put this replay up too, the 4 stages of consciousness and that we go through. And he said it's very simplified, version, but so stage 1 is where victim, stage 2 is manifester, controlling, stage 3 is surrender, stage 4 is that I am. And, really that's from victimhood, we can all say like, oh, why is all this happening to me? Life's not fair. God hates me, I guess. To, second stage, manifestor controlling is like where you kind of got a stop sign for God, where you're kind of like, well, God, I guess, is the servant of my desires. I create my reality, and this is my creation. To stage 3, the surrendering, where you understand that there are other things at play. You are the servant of God, of the ultimate creation, the creator, the universe, the cosmic all that is, if God doesn't work for you. But Mother, Father, God is actually what I tend to refer to. But so that third stage of surrender, where you're able to say, I allow, I trust, I have faith. To the 4th stage, that I and the divine are one, and I can completely let go and go with the flow. And, my understanding with human design is that's a big part of it too. Like, the I, that is Leslie, is the one who wants to get all like, oh, I'm so, and even like, oh, I have to respond, and I have to do this, and oh, I hope people don't think of it, like, all of that. And that's a beautiful stage. I'm probably between manifestor controlling and working towards surrender, but that goal of that I am is where I'm aiming to get towards. And like, who's coming with me? Hopefully none of you, because you need to be on your own journey. But we can do this together. That would be awesome. And that is what I hope this channel will be about, and will be, a reflection of my journey as I'm doing my best to not try so hard and to allow and to trust and have faith and be me, be all that I can be, and maybe potentially be able to inspire some of you to shine your own light and do your own thing. Now, I'll leave with this, but this is my calendar, my perpetual calendar post for today, October 25th. It says, may you honor yourself as a role model to all you meet this day, involved in acts of kindness, authenticity, and self-love. So again, another validation and just kind of expressing everything that I would hope to be. So call it a night. I've got spirit play in the morning, so gotta get ready to do a little interplay and some mild dancing and poetry and meditation. And I bid you all adieu. Good night. Lots of love. Peace.